and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I am your host, AC, and we are joined in studio today by Dean Klempke and Amber Klempke. They are real estate advisors, both of them. How are you guys?
Oh, we're doing great. How are you?
Doing very well this morning.
Good. I'm glad. Thank you for coming back.
Happy to be here.
Always happy to have you here. So it's kind of spring, right? Is it spring yet?
It
officially?
Is.
Close?
If you're not paying attention to the fact that it's going to snow tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, listen, I have given up on this weather here. It just is what it is. I know not to plant anything till after spring break.
I want to so badly.
Don't be tempted. Don't be tempted.
Every year.
Don't be tempted.
Won't do it.
I've come back from spring break and there've been snow on the ground. So I know
Absolutely.
better. I know better. I don't care how good the things look right now.
I know.
Don't do it.
Not going to do it.
Don't do it, Amber. Okay.
Resist.
Well, speaking of spring, let's talk about the spring market. Dean, what kind of things?
So pretty much after the Super Bowl, people start, looking for houses and things like that. Spring and summer are the most popular times to move houses or, to change houses because, you want to get into your new house before the new school year starts.
Yeah.
Summer's pretty popular, but spring is when it all just... Lots of new houses on the market. We have 3 listings this week, 3 new listings this week. Just random people. Oh, we're ready to buy a house. We're ready to sell a house. So.
You think people have been thinking about it like all winter? Do you know what I mean? Like all winter, are people preparing for it?
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people just kind of get a wild hair and are like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to move.
Yeah.
So, but other people I do think are planning it. But there are several that just kind of come out of the woodwork and they're like, we're ready to buy a house or we're ready to sell a house. And we're like, oh, cool, let's do it. So.
I think something about spring, like, people clean spring, like spring cleaning. I think people just are like, new, something new, like when new buds come out of the ground, something new.
It's time.
Right.
Houses too, I guess.
Because people are stuck in their houses in the winter, and then spring comes along, and they're like, well, I don't want to be stuck in this house anymore.
Right. Go to a new house.
Right.
Be stuck in that one next year.
Be stuck in the next winter, exactly.
Stuck in that one next year.
Kind of like when we came out of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
People were like, I'm done with this one.
Done with this one. What kind of things are you seeing?
So we're seeing for a lot of houses, especially if they're presenting really well on the market, they're getting multiple offers over asking price. It's not as crazy as it was a few years ago, but it's kind of getting crazy all over again. It started, I don't know, probably in the last month or so, it's really picked up a lot. So if you are buying a house, you definitely want to take into account that perhaps you need to look at houses that are a little under your budget, so you have a little room to go up in case there's a multiple offer situation.
I would imagine maybe people aren't prepared for that.
Nope.
No.
Because of where the market was. Do you know what I mean? Because of where the market was.
Right.
I would imagine people aren't prepared for that.
Right. And, we as realtors, when people are like, well, we want to think about it for a couple days, that anxiety, we're like, I don't want you to miss out. Like the number of times I say to clients, I don't want you to miss out on this house. Like, I understand you want to think about it, but,
Do you find that when you say that to people, do you think people think that you're using that as a tactic?
Yes. And that we genuinely don't mean it's not a tactic. We genuinely are like, because we can usually tell if a house is probably going to get multiple offers, and we just really don't want people to miss out. And we also don't want people to buy things they don't want. But to have a bit of a sense of urgency is kind of important, especially right now when, the really nice houses they're just flying off the market.
And there's still not enough inventory on the market. Like there's still not enough houses. There's not enough new construction homes. There's just not enough.
That's why I would say, and I mean, I'm just being like completely transparent and honest here. That's why I would say, get an agent that you trust, right? If you don't have a trust relationship with your agent, don't use them.
Right.
Because if you have to question whether or not you think your agent is telling you something as a tactic,
right,
then you might be with the wrong agent. I'm just saying.
100%.
Well, and sometimes people will have to lose out on a house before they're like, you
they were right.
You weren't trying to push me into something. You were just advising me.
Because there's nothing worse than losing out on a house that you really wanted because you were kind of kicking tires. And your agent was saying, hey, I'm telling you from experience, there's probably going to be multiple offers on this house. So you probably want to go ahead and make an offer if you want it, and you're kind of at home kicking tires thinking that your agent's just kind of,
trying to
playing you around. You're like,
up.
no, I'm serious. There's going to be multiples.
I had clients in Jeff City who watched a house that they thought was a little too expensive, and then it got a price reduction, and all of a sudden it had multiple offers after being on the market for like 65 days. Like, then all of a sudden, everybody's there, and they lost out.
Yeah, if a house is priced well and it shows well, it's going to go.
Yeah, and so that's not, and here's the thing. No matter where interest rates are, right? If people are looking for houses, they're going to buy houses. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure. Because a lot of times people are moving, they're having kids, they're whatevering, whatever life is throwing at them, people are still going to have to move regardless of what interest rates are doing. It might be frustrating for them, but that's kind of how it is sometimes. So there's always something going on in the market.
And we did, like a closing we had last week, somebody had a 5.99 interest rate. Like, it's starting to happen.
Kind of chilling out a little bit.
Just kind of chilling around that time. Just chilling around that time. Okay. Well, I know, before we get out of here, I'm going to say, I know that you guys offer like a real estate, what do you guys call it?
Real estate review.
Yeah, a real estate review. And I always think it's important that people know that you guys offer that.
Yes.
And you guys offer that whether people are clients of yours or not.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Free of charge.
Right.
Free of
You
charge.
can call the Klempkes and get a real estate review, see where your house stands, see what it could sell for, even if you're not looking to sell right now. So
Absolutely. We just want people to be informed.
that's right. So you should reach out to the Klempkes if that's something that you're interested in knowing.
For sure.
They're good people.
We'd be happy to help.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming. We appreciate
Thanks
you.
for having us.
This is your Be Well moment by Burrell Behavioral Health. Life is full of moments of hardships, joy, and everything in between. While we don't always feel joyful, we can think of memories where we have felt joy in the past to create ease now. For this practice, try closing your eyes if that's safe. Think about a time when you genuinely smiled or laughed. Maybe it was a silly moment with a pet or a joke with a friend. Recall the details. Where were you? Who was with you? What did it feel like? We can revisit our moments of joy.